Hello sweet cake friends, welcome back to Maggie Heron Cake, and today we're going to paint this easy flower painting using Betty Crocker frosting. If you missed the other video about how to make Betty Crocker frosting white, go ahead and check the other video in the description below. And after you have your Betty Crocker frosting already whipped and then it's whiter, the reason we want to make it whiter is also because it's easier to color. It's true to color, meaning like when you put the color, you're not gonna have much of the problem, because if it's sort of have a yellowish tint, let's say you put blue on your kind of yellowish buttercream, the color is going to be off. You're going to get like green instead of blue. So that's why whipping your frosting and then make it whiter, in general, it's a good thing. And other than Betty Crocker frosting, really you can use any kind of buttercream. And today we're putting purple. For some reason, I like this purple color, and let's go ahead, make the color. I use gel color. You can use any brand of gel color. Today I use Wilton one, and it works pretty great. And when you color, just use toothpicks and put out just a little bit, and then tint just a little bit of your buttercream. And I use palette knife to paint. This is my most favorite method of cake painting, because what you need is just the buttercream and then a few or even just one palette knife. Today I'm going to show you one palette knife, which is the rounded one I'm using here to create this flower. And then we're also going to use some like a little bit of pointy thing to create this lavender flower. It's kind of very abstract, but it's still very beautiful. So this is very beginner friendly one. And all you need is just a flat surface. So if you have any kind of like flat plate or any kind of like silicone, or even the back of your cookie pan. So that's perfect to mix your color and also to, move your buttercream back and forth. And I mix a little bit of ivory or brown into the purple just to tone it down the color a little bit, and mix it with white if you want a lighter color. So I have different shades of purple here, a darker purple, and then a medium, and then somewhat a toned down color of purple. And then, remember that we don't need a lot of buttercream at all here. You see that I'm just using a little bit of buttercream here. And that's the nice thing about buttercream painting, is that you don't need much of the buttercream. So you can have maybe some leftover buttercream that you can use for this kind of painting. Now we're using this rounded palette knife to scoop up your buttercream. So you just scoop up from the back of your palette knife, and then you get like some amount of that buttercream. Again, you see, scoop it up, we scrape it, and scoop it up. You got some, and then you can gently place it on the cupcake or even cookie. Actually, you can use this for cookie as well. So use a lighter medium one here, and then just do the second petal using the same method. So just use this palette knife, and then use a darker color this time. So for the third and fourth petal, use a darker color, and lastly just the last one. And you have the 5 petal one. You see how pretty it is already. And lastly, in the middle, use a white color one for the center. You can even put some sprinkles there, but just leave it right there. And for lavender, you can just coat your cupcake with white buttercream. And then this one I kind of go for, because it's very soft. The buttercream is soft, the frosting, and then I didn't wait until it's sort of somewhat dry, or even, so I just went for it. So use a tip of any of a pointy a little bit palette knife and move your palette knife around a little bit. You can use a medium color one, medium purple, and then for some parts of the lavender, just use a darker lavender or darker purple and move it in a kind of a heart shape mostly. So one stroke down and then one stroke down the other side. And on the stem, like use some of the darker color and some of the lighter color. And then just continue with, so for your 4 stems, if you want just a little bit of the shorter stems and a darker purple, you can do that. And for the stems, so not just the lavender flower, the stem, I decided to use ivory color. So just to have its differences in color, it's important in painting. So, and then it turns out to be pretty good. And I just used toothpicks for that, and it's perfect. You know, just something thin and long. And even remember that center of that 5-petal flower, I also used toothpicks as well to adding the color white on it. And now look at the results. I think it's pretty. It's simple, but it's really pretty. So I hope you really try it. So how is the painting? I hope you're inspired to try it. And if you want to know more about my secrets of floral cake painting or whatever the thing that my guide to use, so it's 5 secrets to make the painting pops, to make the painting doesn't turn into a blob. So instead of turning into a blob, makes the flower painting pop. So please download the link, the PDF guide below. It's only 5 secrets, and it's an easy guide for you to what to look for and what to probably adjust whenever you want to do cake painting. Okay, so go ahead, click and download it. And of course, I have to tell you that it's free. It's a free guide, so go ahead and download it.